Circulating on social media, she claims to have been vilified and victimized for turning him down.
Well, I think let's start with the genesis of what led to where we're at. Mary Phadi is a leader at the time who was appointed by the national officials and more so also by President Zuma. And she was entrusted with a role of setting up the structures within Mpumalanga and also being the party leader in the legislature.
This is the woman who led the party in this year's general elections, where it became the official opposition in Mpumalanga.
It's a collective effort, it's a collective work.
As things stand, there is a very serious allegation leveled against the deputy leader of the party.
You know, as you said it, this is a sensitive matter. And Mponto Wesizwe and the leadership, we take such matters very, very seriously. And in light of that, you know, it's sensitive both in terms of what you said, the challenges that we're faced with as a society, from a GBV perspective, but also sensitive politically, naturally, because as you said, this is the deputy president.
You know, I don't have to prove anything because it is personal. And the messages that he has sent to me are the ones that can be able to prove that. I don't have to sit on the table and say, I'm trying to convince you, Claudie, to say this had happened. Yeah. But if you read the messages, you'll be able to tell what I had denied him to meet with me. And therefore, later, within that month, and then you see such responses, then you now think as to why I could not write to the president earlier. It is because everything happened so fast.
You have raised this with the leader of the party, Jacob Zuma. What did he say?
He did not respond on time. And it so happened that obviously the media will pick up such things and we find ourselves here. But it is an internal letter that I was sending to the president to say, President, I think whatever that is happening, it is the reason behind the messages that I received. And I had denied that the deputy president the opportunity to be able to speak to me further than the way he did. Yeah. And indeed, I could tell that it did not sit well with them.
We need to look into that. We're taking this very seriously. Obviously, this is something that was brought forward off the back of what seemed to be a letter from her. I've never seen the actual letter or the confirmation that the president did receive this letter. You know, so one can also not confirm that it actually is a letter from her, even though she may say that this is what it is.
Well, she does state it.
Well,
for the record.
Well, I'm just saying
that
formally
it has been sent to.
No, formally from our end, we haven't received that letter, is what I'm saying. So we cannot be taking and responding to a letter that's just we've seen in social media.
If John Hlophe decides to come after you legally, are you prepared to go to court to prove your claims of sexual harassment against him?
That will be much better. The reason why we took MK to court is because of the allegations and the propaganda that I've misappropriated funds in Mkhento Wesizwe. I've created internal disgruntled members, or I have created instability within the political party.
Now, there were certain reports that came through from Mpumalanga that not only on the issue of the financial misconduct, if we should say. There were also other issues of, her attending meetings, wielding guns, backed by goons in these meetings, and intimidating people. This is also something that we should note, that at one point she was arrested, if people don't know. Mary Phadi was arrested. And the reason for her arrest was that she had made certain comments that were such that she wanted to get certain people assassinated. And the police got a hold of this information. There was recordings, and she was locked in. I remember at one point, Mary Phadi called me because she was concerned that this was going to blow over into the media, and she wanted to know how she should handle it. I've got SMSs that can show that. So Mary Phadi must not be painted as a person who is innocent here.
If MK can say that I'm a disgruntled member, it will be indeed unfortunate, because MK must be saying that here are the leaders that you want in MK. Here are the women that will be able to build our country. This is a woman that will be able to stand up and say no to the things that are happening to women out there in any political party.
Also important for you to understand here that what if, and maybe you may not be aware of this, as I've said, you dealt with a person that's also been in prison here, in jail for a couple of days for certain things. That in of itself should ask you and throw big question marks on the person's character. And the fact that, by the way, they didn't want to hand over their accounts. We're fully aware what's happening in those accounts. Naturally, as is the case, if it does lead and off the back of a process, because remember, she's still a member of the party. She's there off the back of Mkhonto Wesizwe ticket. So if the leadership is calling you or recalling you, you need to adhere to the instructions. In this case, she's in defiance. So she's rogue.
And if I was wrong with Mkhonto Wesizwe could have just called me in to say, follow the internal processes, but nothing has happened. And I'm still here, and I'm still the member of Mkhonto Wesizwe.